Hey, hi, hello, boys and girls, cats and squirrels, and other configurations of being. It's your girl Jazzy, aka Dizzy Dreamer 92, and guys, welcome back to my channel. Guys, it's a little later than I usually would post, at least nowadays, since I'm trying to do this challenge, and I'm actually filming a video on the day that it's gonna go up, which is weird because I was really prepared like the past almost week at like having videos prepared and just being like, okay, we're gonna post this and we're good, we don't have to worry about it. Yet here we are. And guys, I kind of wanted to have a chat with you guys because I know, like, as a, granted, a young person, but like an older young person, someone who is 26 and definitely cannot pretend that they're not an adult. Um, I, have obviously not a lot of life experience. 26 years in the grand scheme of things is not a lot. But I have, the experience under my belt of, not ending up where you think you're going to end up. Career-wise, job-wise, just what your life looks like wise. I'm definitely a big example of things don't always turn out the way that you think they're going to, but it's okay. So guys, a little background on why I say that and, kind of give the story a little setting or whatnot. What am I saying? I don't know. But, guys, when I was like in high school, more towards the end of my high school career, so junior and senior year, what I really, really wanted to do with my life is I felt very called to pursue worship leading. Anyone who knows me in real life knows I love music, I love singing. If I could just get the discipline down to do it, I would learn how to play like guitar. I have a keyboard and an acoustic guitar that are kind of just chilling. But I wanted to do worship. It was definitely big on my heart, and it was something I was very passionate about. And I was convinced that what after high school was going to look like is I was going to go to community college for a couple years. I was going to get my general ed, my associate's degree, and then I was going to move on to Biola, which is a Christian university in Southern California. And I was going to finish up there, and I was going to get a degree in music, and I was going to come back, and I was going to eventually rise through the ranks and become the worship leader for my church at the time. And I found out pretty soon after that that wasn't exactly where I was supposed to be. That wasn't where God was really calling me. Like, I didn't need to get a degree to be a worship leader. Like, me being a worship leader wasn't going to look like that, basically. So then I was like, okay, well, then I'm going to put school on pause. Like, I'm not going to go and pay for something that, like, I could use this money for other things. And, like, I want to make sure that I'm paying for a degree that I actually could use and I actually need. So, so that was in 2010 because that was like after I graduated high school. And so going through the next couple years and trying to figure out like what do I want to do, like I was working at a bowling alley at the time, and I actually worked at that bowling alley for about 10 years. I I worked there until the end of 2016. And I was getting to the point where I was like, I've been here for too long. I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I gotta get out. So one other thing that I've always like really been really passionate about and actually been pretty talented in is art. So I started looking into going to art school because I figured, okay, well, I can use like a bachelor's degree, in some art subject, and that might get me somewhere. So I was looking at different schools. I looked into the Art Institute. I looked at the Academy of Art in San Francisco. And finally, what ended up happening is my roommate, Brittany, who you guys know I love very much, she told me about a school called Expression, which is a digital art school that, they do degrees in, like, animation, in video game development. They do, like, sound production. Just really cool, awesome things. She told me about it. I requested information. I requested to have a tour. I eventually got a tour of the school, and like the guy that helped, he used to be like the head of like the animation department. He was super awesome. And basically they just kind of got me set up, and they were like, okay, well, here are like the options for loans. We gotta do a drawing test thing, and you gotta do some other things, but like if you do good, like you'll get in. And lo and behold, I got into Expression. Now, for a lot of different reasons, some of which I don't necessarily want to go into at this point, just because like it's something I will talk about in another video. I have a Draw My Life coming out this month, and I talk about that in depth. So, just for a lot of different reasons. A big one just being like the state of my mental health. I unfortunately, like, I was there from March of 2015 until literally like the beginning of November of 2016. And again, it's the reasons and the more explanation can come in like the Draw My Life. And going to school, like, with the exception of like 95% of the time just being extraordinarily stressed out and like depressed and overwhelmed, like, I learned a lot of cool things. I got to meet a lot of cool people, and I was convinced, I was like, I don't know, this is gonna kill me, but like, I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree after the end of 32 months. I'm gonna go work for Pixar, and I'm just gonna, this is my life, like, this is gonna work out. And of course, that is exactly not how it worked out. And that was not my life, and that's not how my life is going. So like, at the moment, you guys have probably heard me talk about how, nowadays I work in the mortgage business, which I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys is so far off from like working for Pixar or Disney or any animation studio. Like, it's not even like a creative field. It's literally loans. But guys, I can't tell you, I am so unbelievably blessed, like, where I am and like where God has brought me. I've seen a lot of evidence of his grace and his mercy and his goodness in my life, but like, this is like seriously like a huge one, because like I said, like, I was working at my bowling alley job for 10 years, and while I don't get me wrong, like, I still love like the people that work there, that people that are still there, and like my old bosses and everything. Like, there's still love there, but like, that job, like, if I'm being honest, like, was the most soul sucking, like, soul destroying job I've ever had. And that's saying a lot, since I've only had that and a couple other jobs on the side. So the fact that, like, being so convinced, like, when I was younger, I'm gonna be a worship leader, and then being so convinced I'm gonna work for Pixar, and then the fact that God has brought me here, and the fact that, like, I'm in a place where, like, I am overwhelmingly and abundantly blessed. Like, I'm in I was in a position where I was able to buy a car, which is what I'm sitting in right now, which I'm kind of thinking about doing a car tour, even though I feel like that sounds really strange and like a little much, but I was able to get a car, and like, I'm able to, I don't have to worry about paying my bills, like, and like making rent, and I'm just in a position where I feel very, very blessed, and I feel very, very, I'm very grateful to, I'm very grateful to just be where I am in my life, because there were many times where I was very unhappy and I was very sad, and I was like, God, like, why did you bring me here? Like, what is this, And like, our God is so good. Like, he's so good to like his children, and like, yeah, I was in a position that felt dark and felt heavy for a long time, but he wasn't going to leave me there. He didn't leave me there, And I would have that as encouragement for you, because like, maybe you're in a place where like, you're expecting things to go another way, or maybe you're just like, I didn't think it was going to go this way at all. But like, if I can encourage you guys in any way, I would just say that, like, if God hasn't taken you and put you in the place that you're meant to be, he is going to. Like, and even in that aspect, like, where you are right now, like, it's where you're meant to be. Like, it's not an accident. Like, it's not, coincidence. Like, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And I think that's so important to remember. Like, again, my job for 10 years, soul sucking, but for whatever reason, God wanted me there for 10 whole years. But guys, I think this is getting a little rambly, but I just, I never thought this was what my life was going to look like. High school me definitely thought 26 was going to be a lot different. But honestly, like, guys, I'm so blessed, and I'm so grateful, and I know I've repeated that like multiple times now, but even moving past that, because again, I don't ever really like these videos to be all about me. Like, I don't know, I just know that our God is so good, and again, like, if he hasn't brought you to the place that kind of feels good for you, like how I'm talking about how, like, I have my new job and everything, Like he will take you out of the place where you feel distressed and where you're feeling hopeless and depressed. Like he will bring you out of that, because that's what our God does. He is a deliverer. He brings people out of their darkness and the pits and everything. And I know, guys, I know I probably have a nice handful of people that watch my videos that I know you guys probably don't believe in God, and you're probably like, Jazzy, I don't even know what you're talking about. And as always, guys, I would just encourage you to seek out that relationship. It's important, and it 10 out of 10 would recommend. But guys, yeah, so there's no shame to ending up in a place that you could never have imagined, or that you didn't imagine, and it's all good because you are meant to be exactly where you are at this moment. Well, guys, I love your faces so very much. It is currently Monday. I will see you guys tomorrow in another video. Excuse me. Tomorrow you guys are going to get a what I eat in a day video, since I have been talking more about like weight loss and keto and everything. And I think sometime this week you'll probably get a keto video too, where I actually explain like what keto is, for those of you who don't know. So guys, I love your faces. Guys, remember, you can leave your comments, questions, concerns in the comment section down below, and we can have a conversation, because that is what we are about on this channel. I love your faces, and I will see you guys tomorrow.